Hello, dear friends. I was reading through some of the angel messages I've recently been receiving, and I have a brief but very soothing one to share with you today. As I was reading through it, I wasn't sure that I was going to record today, but this is so soothing, and I realized I needed to hear it, so I thought perhaps you might as well. My dear ones, you are right to remember that great pain brings great remembering, especially as you seek answers for the pain and suffering around the world. Yes, it is through the pain that each are propelled inward to seek the truth that lies within. And as each looks inward and remembers our love beyond form, then you soon remember you are not alone. As you allow yourself to open to the deep love that is always there for you, then you allow us to lead you to a softer, gentler path. We will guide you away from the pain and struggle with our love. Yet, all is founded on choice and the willingness to trust and join with the greater love that lives beyond form, from whence all form arises. It is true that each soul does, in fact, choose the path before forming into the physical body. And yet, while the path is determined in advance, the choice to turn inward, to remember and link back into the wholeness of who you are in all love is open and left open for each to choose in any given moment. It is certain all will remember and return, but each chooses the time and the hour and the moment to go within and remember. Right now, dear ones, we call you to open your heart to feel our love. For it is in this openness that the portal begins to open, and thus you are able to allow us, through your trust and receiving, to guide you to the joy and completion that your soul longs to experience, that you, in fact, knew one day would be your inheritance. All love, all bliss, peace, joy as you return back to your natural state in full union with all love. We are here for you, and we long to give you the greatest desires of your heart. Open your hearts to receive our love, and we will make straight your path. All love of infinite grace and peace walks with you now. Go in peace this day. You are not alone. We've got a lot of health issues going on in my own life right now with my husband, looking at some serious surgeries and things. And it is such a good reminder. I'm sure, I know everyone has their challenges to deal with. And of course, our hearts go out to those around the world who are hurting. So it's really validating to be reminded that this great pain, that the point of it is that it helps us remember, helps us to go deep within and remember the truth of who we are, that we are not this, that we are not this body, this experience physically in this kind of grand illusion that we've set out to, learn our life lessons, I think, our soul's lessons. And in this message, if I just recap a little, the angels are saying, yes, it is through the pain that each are propelled inward to seek the truth that lies within. And that is just so true. If we allow ourselves to go inward through the pain, we find our truth within. And they say, and as each looks inward and remembers our love beyond form, then you remember you are not alone. And that, wow, is so true. Is so true. The more we go inward, the more we bring our pain to the love that is within us. We discover that we are just not only surrounded in love, but we come to this awareness that we actually are only love, that we are one love, just expanding into these different physical bodies, these experiences of form, to know ourselves, to understand ourselves, to have the experience, to be creative, to extend more love. What I love here and what they've shared, they say, as you allow yourself to open to the deep love that is always here for you, then you allow us to lead you to softer, gentler paths. That, that's the bliss. And that's true. The more we turn toward love, the more we open our hearts to receive all this love that is here for us, we find that we are being guided. We find that we really aren't alone, and we start to see with new eyes that there is love everywhere. It's something you can really only experience for yourself as you give yourself permission to go inward and remove and let the blocks clear so that you can begin to recognize and realize the love that's there. They also say it's true that each soul does, in fact, choose the path before forming into the physical body. So our souls have a higher plan when we set out into life and form. And though, while the path is determined in advance, the choice to turn inward, to remember and link back into the wholeness of who you are in all love, is left open for each to choose in any given moment. And really, that is the path. The path is all a journey back to remembering the oneness that we are. And we get to choose. We can choose to turn in toward love and away from the fear and the suffering at any point, and begin to awaken back into this realization of our natural state, which is really pure love, without all the ego stuff that keeps us feeling separate and alone and like we need to be afraid because we have to figure it all out. So it's kind of cool to think about that we, as we step back and are aware, kind of as the observer, sometimes I when I'm conscious, when I'm really practicing this, I'll be communicating with my higher self and watching, being the observer of myself, sharing like, this feels really good. I'm loving this. This part's a really great experience. But then there's other times like, I'm not liking this one. This is not a really great one, but I'm going to look for the ways that you're going to guide me to the lesson I'm meant to learn in this, so that I can find the peace and the love and recognize that there's love within each moment if I choose to look for it and be open to recognize that I'm being loved through all of it. So we get to choose the time and the hour, the moment when we will go within and remember. And that's pretty awesome to realize that we are in every moment given a choice to choose either love and remembering or fear. And they pretty much are closing with, right now, we call you to open your heart to feel our love. For it is in this openness that the portal begins to open. And thus you are able to allow us, through your trust and receiving, to guide you to the joy and completion that your soul longs to experience, that you, in fact, knew would one day be your inheritance. All love, all bliss, peace, joy, as you return back to your natural state in full union with all love. I will say there was a time that I would not, well, I'll give you a little backstory. When I was in my early 20s, just out of college, I discovered that I had cancer. I had Hodgkin's disease, had a big tumor, they said the size of a peach, right next to my heart. And that was a very frightening, scary experience for me. And it was many years past after that that I was afraid of it returning. And probably 5 years ago, I had a scare of it returning, and it really kind of sent me as far as into that panic mode. Here, this week, have another, indication that there might be something concerning we need to look into. And yet this time around, I would never have dreamed that I would have the peace that I have about this. It's not stirred me up really, other than maybe the initial moment. But that was about the same day I learned that Jerry needed open heart surgery as well. So, but there's an immense peace now that I've connected with this love beyond form, that I really have this knowing all will be well. All is really well. I'm not alone. So this journey is so well worth it. And just like they say, all love, all bliss, all peace and joy return as you really return back to your natural state, where you remember that you are really fully in union with all love, that you are one with it all, and thus you are everything, you have everything. There's nothing to fear. And that's what makes it easy then to just walk with that infinite grace and peace, and trust that love itself, our higher selves, our souls, all love is supporting us and guiding us to the greatest outcome. Like we were in on this, we had a plan for our greatest good, and it is unfolding. And if we can trust that, we can begin to link up and join with that love. And then we start to see more and more circumstances and situations where there really is love reaching out to us in every way, even in the things that we deem, I'm not really liking this so well. We can still find and feel the love if we're open to recognize that it's there. So I wish you, as with the angels, infinite grace and peace, which is walking with you now, so that you will know with great peace that you are really, truly not alone this day. Thank you so much for joining me today.